So welcome back, everyone. My next guest has been on with me last Friday. I have with me now Jennifer Stupski. She's the owner of Legal Stuff, and I've gotten to know you a little bit. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what we're going to talk about today.
So I do legal stuff, legal documents. I'm a certified legal document preparer in Arizona, and I also am a licensed fiduciary, a notary, a realtor, a VA claim agent. What else could I add?
A plethora of things. And when I was putting together your ad with you, I saw so much that you do. But one thing I want to bring out really before anything else is people don't realize that they don't always just need to have, they don't always have to call an attorney. They also shouldn't do things on their own because they have someone like you who can come out who's a professional at what you do. And a fiduciary makes you very, very special.
Well, that's true. I mean, a lot of people, and that's where, I guess I should say, that's where a lot of my business comes from, when people did try to do things themselves. And of course, they're not legal, or they're not across the board where they, cover every base. And so now we have to step in and try to make sure things get taken care of.
Well, today we're going to talk about estate planning documents.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Let's talk about them.
What do you want to talk about?
Well,
There's
you
so
tell
many.
me, what's the most important thing that people should know about them?
Well, and I think when you think estate planning, most people think of last will and testaments or trust. In my recent experience, I would say that the power of attorneys, especially the healthcare power of attorneys, are the most important. And I know Arizona added a mental health care power of attorney aspect to the whole genre of documents, just because of the aging seniors. You've got people that have dementia. You have all these, prescription drugs that people just cannot make rational decisions.
Well, with the laws changing along, that was the HIPAA law, I think, made it very, very difficult. And when people don't realize that, that's you, and you don't have to be old, to need
true.
that. Let's talk about that too.
Well, I mean, people have strokes, you get in car accidents, anything could happen.
Right.
That you need those documents in place. What a lot of people don't realize, that if they go to the Attorney General's website, they could actually download those documents for free.
Yeah, but having them notarized, having them done correctly is very important. Having you come in, when you work with people, do you work valley-wide? How does it work?
I work valley-wide. If they do end up using other documents, I can certainly come look at them, notarize them. A lot of them need witnesses, you know what I mean?
Please notarize your things, please. I have been experienced it where it wasn't, and it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. You do free consultations. She's a fiduciary, and this is really what makes her different right there. Plus the fact that you can deal with almost any area, whether it's estate planning, you said even real estate. There are documents that have to be done, and document isn't a document unless it's done right.
Absolutely. And next week or the week after, we'll be talking more specifically about real estate documents, but there's a lot of issues with the deeds and the way people are trying to transfer things. As a matter of fact, I just had a transaction where a man recorded a deed against the house and it wasn't even legal. He
Why?
never bought the house. He just wanted to take it over because it's in foreclosure.
Oh, God. See, there's always something. There's always one in every bunch.
No.
Right?
Always.
And especially when it comes down, let's talk about the will again. What is it? How important is it for somebody to have that?
Well, wills are always good to have things in writing because kids never really know. Parents don't discuss anything, especially when you get to grandparents. They don't want to talk about anything. Everything's secret. So when you have it in a will, things are just spelled out, and it alleviates a lot of stress for a lot of families.
Believe me, it does. And it's important for you to do it. And when you do it, the peace of mind that you have with it, right?
Absolutely. And you can change it and update it all the time.
And that's another thing. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people, you will come in and look at something that's even already been done, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say you had it done somewhere else and you moved here, right? Dust those things off and have them looked at. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Now, her phone number, let me get this information out to everybody, because, again, you could call her now. She can help you on anything that you're dealing with right now, but also something to write down in case you need it. That number is 602-457-2333. She does free consultations, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. She's a fiduciary, document preparer, but much more.
Absolutely. Well, the fiduciary, a lot of people don't understand what fiduciaries
Talk
can
about
do.
it.
Well, a lot of the elderly either are here winter visitors, they have family out of state, or they just don't get along with their family, and they don't have anyone that they can choose that they trust in order to take over their financial affairs when something happens. And that's what we do as fiduciaries. We're licensed, we're bonded, we're there just to make sure to step into your shoes to make sure you're taken care of.
I want to talk about that for a second, because you can come in also when, first of all, you're looking out for them, that person that wanted that done. You're making sure that that happens. So important, because it doesn't happen always like that. But more so than anything, what I want to talk about is when someone, a family that is arguing, you can also come in, right?
Absolutely.
And let's say soften up some of that.
Well, and you almost be like a mediator, because you're a third party. You're out of the drama, you're out of all this, of all the different things that are happening within the family, and you're sticking just to what's necessary.
When is a good time to call you when something like this is going on? Should it be parents, everybody sits down together with you when they're talking about doing those documents and having you sign and having everybody there understanding up front what's going on? Or does it happen after? When should they call?
Well, a lot of the parents are calling before they even talk to their kids. They don't want their kids to know that they didn't put their kids in the will.
Right.
So they're interviewing, they talk, and I would tell them, definitely call 2 or 3 different fiduciaries. Get one that you're familiar with, and one that you like, that you feel good about, that's gonna listen to you and your needs.
You know what, also I like having a woman on. You know why? Because sometimes women resonate with women for some reason, and she's really pretty, so you guys might, think that you'd like to talk to her too.
I just think we're better listeners.
And we're
So
also
more
extremely
compassionate.
organized. We like things to be all its place, which is also important when you're dealing with this. You had mentioned community property a little bit ago. Let's talk about what that means.
So if you did not have a will, and you passed away, and this is like your second marriage, and you had kids from a previous marriage, there's gonna be a lot of issues, because in Arizona, we have community property, so the second wife is not entitled to 100% unless it's written somewhere in a will or a document. They're only entitled to 50% of what they got during the marriage, whatever they accumulated. And then the kids from the previous marriage get the other 50%. I mean, there's allowances, there's a lot of other factors that are involved, but it makes it a lot more complicated if you don't have any documents.
You've been doing this for 15 years, and
Plus.
in this 15 years plus, what have you learned? What's the secrets?
Oh my goodness. All right. Let me get my little list. First off, get everything in writing. If you don't have anything, it's gonna cost you double. I mean, we're talking about power of attorneys. If you don't have a power of attorney and something happens, they have to go to the court. And now you've got 5 attorneys on your payroll, and you had no idea if you would have just had stuff written down. You can do an Arizona beneficiary deeds. That helps with estate planning. You can do motor vehicles. They have beneficiaries. They have on their website where you can just fill out like a little item and staple it to your title, and now that avoids probate. Paid on death at bank accounts. That's another huge one I've been seeing a lot lately, is people are putting their kids on the bank accounts thinking that's what helps them, pay the bills. But the bottom line is, when they pass, the kids get the bank account and it doesn't get shared with everybody else. And that's where a lot of arguments are. So if they have power attorneys in place and they put them a paid on death, that alleviates a lot of arguments.
Couple of things that I want people to hear about with what you do too the next time you come on, because we can go more narrow deep on that one. Some of the other different items that you help with that are not about like estate planning, like for instance in real estate deeds and things like that.
So a lot of the title companies are hiring me to do actually mini probates, because the deeds that were done back in the day did not say with right of survivorship, and they will not insure those deeds when the people try to sell them. They're still legal, but the title companies won't insure them because of that, and so we end up having to do probates because of the outdated deeds.
What else? Anything else that they should know that you do that wouldn't be something they'd even realize?
Oh my gosh, I'm just trying to think. There's so many things in my head. Credit bureaus. Oh my gosh, make sure you notify credit bureaus, because with all the identity theft and everything going on, they need to be notified of different items.
There's so much and that she can help with. And here's the thing, don't try and do it on your own, but make sure that you do it. Make sure that you put something in writing. Make sure that I think it's important to have the conversation. No matter what, listen, no matter what, they might be mad a little bit at first, but at least it's all out there in the open and somebody doesn't get hurt. That's the most important thing. But also to make sure that your documents are done correctly. She is a fiduciary, and that is what makes her different right there. She's there to make sure that she does it right for you. That phone number to call her is 602-457-2333. You know what? It's legalstuff.com, real easy.
Thank you.